Hi everybody. Yeah, it's cold in my house and I'm not getting dressed. I just recalibrated my theremin and it's off. So can you see what I've got going on? It's very opinionated this morning. Anyway, I'm going live because I was going to do a video explaining what in the world this theremin was. Everybody seemed really interested in it. Half of you thought it was an ironing board. It's not. Anyway, no one's watching, but I don't care. You might watch this later. So this is my theremin. I'll probably explain it again. The reason it does that when I get close to it, because can you see this antenna? It's kind of like I'm a wizard, basically. But it's the world's first fully electronic instrument, and it's actually quite old. It's over 100 years old, and it comes from the name Theremin, was a Russian physicist. And I played one for a long time in my 20s, and then I lost it in a breakup. And you probably know me from my musical saw content. I play the musical saw, which everybody goes, oh, the saw sounds like a theremin. And I, my friends, would like to tell you that the theremin actually sounds like the saw. I'm looking around. There's usually at least one saw in this room, but I see a fiddle instead. So anyway, I have lots of other saw content. And when I say musical saw, I do just straight up mean like a saw. It is similar in sound to the theremin. So the theremin makes sounds based on how far away your hand is from it. It relies on the heat, electricity from your hand. Perhaps there's a physicist who would like to go more in depth to that. I just woke up and I haven't even had coffee yet, so. So this hand over here controls the volume. And my body, particularly my hand, the heat from my hand. So I could just put a song on and play along, but I don't want to yet because sometimes I get flagged for having other rights. This particular one is a Theremin by Moog. Hello there. Playing my theremin, which a lot of people seem to think was an ironing board in my last video. And yes, it's cold in my house, so I'm wearing my nightcap and my house coat and my flannels. I have a very old house, and the room I'm in right now was very small, like maybe 10 by 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 windows, however, and there's been some work, so there's literally a draft, and it's below freezing out, so yeah. Anyway, this one is a Theremin, and it's got some particular scales that you can set, so I'm actually going to turn that off because I don't like pitch correct. I mean, it's useful in the studio, I suppose, but I'm trying to get better at actually feeling exactly when I'm in the correct position. So now the traditional theremin sound, gosh, I just recalibrated it. Hi, everybody. I'm Bridget, and I'm in Kentucky, and it's cold, and I'm in an old house. But this is my theremin, and a lot of people saw this video of me playing the theremin while my husband was watching a football game, and it was a very funny comment section. But the big question was, why is she ironing and pretending like she's jamming? And so it's not an ironing board. It's a theremin. It's the world's first fully electronic instrument. It's the only instrument that you don't have to actually touch, which is good because I currently have chilblains on my hand, like freaking Jane Eyre, like Oliver Twist, because it's cold. So you don't have to touch it, which is good because my hands hurt. If you have questions, let me know. Hold on. See, I recalibrated it, and now I have to step away from the antenna to see the chat. Is there a chat? I don't even know if there's a chat. But if you have questions, pop them in the chat. And I'll try to answer your questions. Oh gosh, come on. Switch account. There we go. Okay. So I was gonna just play along to some music. Hey everybody. Wow, there's some people now. There we go. Very. Can I play a scale? I can. All right. So let's see. Now it's set to. I want to make sure it's on chromatic. So chromatic is where there's no cheating. You can set it to scale. Oh, I just switched it to. I'll find a C. Hold on. There's C. just see I'm a little. I gotta close my eyes. Sometimes I'm actually left-handed too, so. So this hand controls the volume. If I'm, it's just the same volume if I'm away from it. But I can make it down in volume if I put my hand a little closer to it. If you touch it, it screws everything up. So this is, again, if you're new here, it's a theremin. It's the world's first fully electronic instrument. Theremin was a Russian physicist, and the instrument's actually over 100 years old. So it seems like it's all brand new and kooky, but it's pretty old. And yes, it's similar to the musical saw, which is one of my, it's probably my main, piano's my main instrument, but musical saw and accordion are my others. So if you've seen me playing the musical saw and you commented, it sounds like a theremin, and then I got all like, no, the theremin, oh sorry, it's a very angry theremin today. The theremin sounds like a musical saw. There's, some people say that it actually was designed to kind of sound like a musical saw. That's not entirely true. However, it took over a lot of the parts that musical saws used to play. So if you hear like old vaudeville stuff, there's a lot of musical saw, but then as TV and film developed, they had that musical saw sound that was so popular. A lot of the steel went to World War II, and so musical saws kind of fell out of fashion because also men were mostly the ones playing it, and men went off to war. So the theremin kind of took over when you got to making like soundtracks and stuff. The saw is, thank you for saying the saw is impressive. I agree that the saw is impressive. A lot of people think that it's very easy to do, and it is. It's not terribly hard to make a sound, although most people cannot make a sound, but like, I don't know, 1 out of 5 people can make a sound when they try my musical saw. However, to play the actual note that you are intending to play is apparently difficult for most people. I've been playing since I was 8, so. Anyway, I thought I'd just put on some music and we'd jam. What do you guys think? I just recalibrated it because I knew I was going to put a tripod up. And the funny thing about theremins is that you cannot get too much metal. Like if I was wearing my rings, if I were wearing my rings, it would be interference with this. So do the Led Zeppelin concert version. Sorry, I'm reading this too. What is that? Let's see if I can play music from here. Sometimes I get in trouble for playing music on YouTube because of rights issues. So we'll see if this works. And then, yeah, I'd love to just jam along to some Led Zeppelin. If you have questions, pop in the comments. I'd love to know. Led Zeppelin. You think if I just type concert, it'll work? Let's find out. Oh, hello. Hi, everybody. Oh, I can't find that. How about albums? I should be like charging all my devices because we're gonna go into crazy storm mode and we always lose power in storms. You know what, let me just put Led Zeppelin on shuffle. We'll see what happens. What's it gonna be? What about, we swapped from one streaming service to another, and so I find that I don't understand what's going on how to use it, but let's just see if this works. Got my speaker in the next room. Oh, it's working. Oh, what is that? Black dog? What key is that in? Oh, it's in the wrong scale. Here we go. Ooh, I like that one. I could do this all day. I just recalibrated it so it's all off. So the funny thing is when I play the musical saw, I know my different saws. So I have my 20-inch saw, my 22-inch, my favorite's my 26-inch. I even have a 30-inch and a 34-inch, and I know exactly where the notes are on those. And that's basically like having it's like having a piano with different size keys. So you know that you don't have to stretch as far, and that is a real thing. Our petite pianos, etc. and stuff. But this one, I just had to recalibrate it, and my son actually recalibrated it, and he's smaller than I am, so it's different. And I guess I could redo it again, but I don't want to because that'd be boring for the live. But basically, you have to like stand back 4 feet and then put your hand where you want it, and then far, and it's a fun process. But this is a theremin if you're hearing new. Doctor Who versus Zeppelin. Yes, exactly. Actually, if you follow me on the other sites, Instagram, TikTok, etc., I think I have a pinned video there of me playing the Doctor Who theme song, but I'm playing it on a musical saw, which is what it sounds like. And weirdly, the Doctor Who theme song is actually not on the musical saw, and it's not on a theremin. It's a synthesizer, and there was a woman who, I'll do a whole other video on that. It's a really interesting story, though, but she used some electronic stuff, and it sounds like both a theremin and a saw, but it's really a synthesizer that kind of is manipulated to sound like that. So, but it's a... That's okay. Finding the first note here is hard because I recalibrated. There's my chromatic scale. Anyway, yeah, this is just a theremin, and I thought I'd just have some fun with it. It makes me feel like a wizard. It's also got these cool presets. This is the classic theremin sound. Just kind of annoying. But I sort of feel magical. That's my favorite, though. That's the volume knob. Oh, Van Halen. That wouldn't surprise me. I don't know the particular one you're talking about. Oh, hi, it's the Postie. I love our Postie because he never knows what I'm up to, but he always knows I'm up to something interesting when I'm in this room. Because sometimes it's my art studio, and sometimes I have these fun curtains to make it look like I'm on a stage. And sometimes I'm playing the saw, and right over there's my piano, so. Jump. Maybe. Oh, jump maybe. Oh, the da 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 dun dun dun. You know, it's funny. It's hard to tell what is the straight up synthesizer and what is the theremin, because the synthesizers came after the theremin, and this is the first fully electronic instrument. And it was, I think it was like around 1918, 1919 that it went worldwide, I suppose. It was a Russian physicist who invented it. His last name was Theremin. And but anyway, once this was invented, people kind of started realizing they could make all kinds of cool electronic instruments, and so synthesizers came out of a lot of the same techniques and electronic calculations. I totally feel magical doing this. Total wizard. It's funny, I have a video right now that is taking off in ridiculous ways. It's just a short here on YouTube where I'm playing the theremin, and my husband caught me because we had neighbors over. I actually didn't know the neighbors were coming over. So I was doing my own thing, and then people came over, and we live in the house, like the hangout house, the snack house. So everyone comes over, and I realized, oh, there's a football game on. I actually thought it was basketball at first, and then I was, because it feels like it's basketball season, and I was never a football kid. I grew up in Louisville, and we were into basketball in the late 80s when the team was really good. So college basketball makes sense, but college football has never been a thing. So anyway, everyone was over, and my husband busted me because I hung out in the beginning, and then everybody was watching the football game, and I had questions, but I knew, like, sorry, if I get too close, it gets angry. Anyway, I was gonna annoy people, so I just went off to my own room, and I was like, I'll play with my theremin. It's quiet. I couldn't play piano. That's too loud. Anyway, so I couldn't play guitar because I have like a Victorian era hand disease at the moment because it's so cold. Anyway, I play my theremin because it's in my own little room. And my husband made this video of me when he went off looking for me, and I was in here playing it in my own world. I think half the people in the comments thought I was ironing, and the other half thought I was high, but really I was just... I could literally do this all day. Yeah, the Van Halen stuff was keyboard, I think. But it's interesting that you say that because they're really similar. And the thing about the theremin is because it wasn't because it's electronic, you can change the tone. So like a standard theremin. Oh, sorry. A standard theremin sounds like this. You can get these little kits. I'll actually, if I think about it at the end, I'll drop a little kit to making your own theremin. It's really tiny. It's really cute. My kids and I did it a couple years ago during I don't know. Excuse you. I have this one plugged into an amp, so it's louder. There's also a headphone volume, so you can not annoy your friends while you're learning. But that's the kind of classic theremin vibe. This one is a little, it's a newer one, and so it's got all these. Gosh, it sounds like it's tuning, doesn't it? I like that sound. And depending on... Oh, don't do it. I hate when it does this thing. There we go. I'll step away. If there's too many metal objects, it interferes with the electronics. But anyway, this little kit you can build your own, and it's harder to play because it's a lot smaller. So if you have any like tremor in your hand, it'll change the pitch. If you have a bigger theremin, it's a little easier to play. But the bigger ones don't explain how they work. So if you're interested in the science behind it, I will try to remember to put a link to a really cool little kit that does not give me any money. It's not a promotion or anything. I just thought it was fun to do with my kids. It's like $40 and you can see how it works. It's got like a little circuit board and you can see how going closer or farther actually affects it. So it's pretty fun, but this is just like a pentatonic scale. volume. So if I'm really close, yes, I am the sports ball person. No, I said sports ball because I was 90% sure it was football. But also it was I was kind of joking with my husband there because we had the neighbors over and it was fun. And yes, it's very cold in this room, but we joke a lot. My husband is he was a football player and I'm the music nerd and he has no idea whatever I'm doing. And so, he's like, how's the music going? And I'm like, how's the sports ball going? But yes. Oh, stop. It's getting annoyed with me because there's too many metal devices. Clara Rockmore, yes. There's one that came out for the 100th anniversary called the Claravox. I wanted it so badly, but it's like $2,000 and now it was limited. I should have just bought it. I mean, I shouldn't have because who has $2,000 just lying around? But now you can't get them anymore. So it's like, well, to be fair, there's a lot going on. And I still can't believe that he caught it at the exact moment that one, it was Oasis, and two, he must have timed that. I feel like he probably found me before and then waited for the chorus. I need to ask him because I know one person said it looked staged. It wasn't staged. That's definitely what I was doing. I didn't think anybody noticed because they were all really engrossed. They all went to IU and IU was in this championship game. I had hung out before. I don't know. I was just going to annoy everybody with my questions because I don't do football. I love going to an actual football game, but watching it on TV I can't do. And I got really into what the pep band was doing, like when they were playing the Imperial March. Anyway, and also the Hoosiers, I was like, oh guys, that's like a descending major third because I'm a total music geek. And they're like, shh. So I went into my room to play the theremin. But I did indeed say what sports ball. But I didn't invent sports. I called it sports ball when I was, sorry, I have to get away. I called it sports ball when I was a little girl, like tiny, because some people say aminal instead of animal. And then I went for years, and then there was some graphic comic like 15 years ago that talked about sports ball. And so I love that it came back. But if you haven't seen it, it's really funny. But I typically play piano and musical saw, and this is I do a lot of music theory analysis and stuff, but a lot of people were laughing at this and were like, what is it? I thought it was an ironing board. So I thought I'd just pop on as I opened my phone this morning, and all I saw were comments about what in the world is that woman doing? And so I thought, oh. Also, sorry, I really hate when it does this. I'll take the antenna out. Shh. It's very fussy. I'm going to have to pop off soon. My whole family went to get haircuts this morning and to prepare for the impending storm when we usually lose power. So I thought I would, while I'm alone, have some more alone time. I do love alone time, and I don't get it very often. There we go. All right. We're turning the amp back up. Thought we were. There we go. All right. This is a kind of, I got this one for Christmas. I had one a while ago so this is what I do. I'm actually a musician and I play, I have the original singer-songwriter stuff like lots of people, but I've made a living as a musician because I play in so many other people's, I have to recalibrate it, too much metal here. I play in so many other people's bands that sometimes I play accordion or piano or what's not. It's the sports ball lady. Yeah, it is. So I thought I'd jump on and show you my theremin since it's not an ironing board. But now I have to recalibrate it. So welcome. So this is a new theremin that I got. Typically when I played theremin in years past, I've just played the one that was already in the recording studio because I lost a theremin in a breakup like 20 years ago before I married Mr. Sports Ball. And so I had played theremin in my 20s. And then I didn't have one. I'd only played ones that were in studios. And this one's totally different than any of the ones I played. So I sort of feel like I'm learning a new instrument. So it's by Moog, the pronunciation is like Moog. It's some sort of German thing where you have to round your vowels to an O, but then say an E. But a lot of people just say Moog. Technically that's wrong, but I kind of feel like I'm sort of a douche if I go Moog. So I say Moog a lot also. So you can jump in the comments and correct me if you want. But this one is plugged into an amp. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to hear it because it's kind of quiet. Oh, did you hear that? I turned it on. And now I'm going to have to recalibrate it because there's a metal tripod and a metal laptop and there's metal on this art easel, which I guess I could just move. I did take off my own metal, though I'm kind of metal. Oh, that was terrible. And so we're going to calibrate it. Oh, I thought we were. Mute when pitch hand is far away. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Tuning A440. That is what we want. Enter. Next. Yep. And now it is calibrated, but it may be calibrated slightly wrong because I didn't do the like how far am I. But basically it works by the heat and electrons energy from your hands. Can I play the talk box? Oh, you know, I've played with a talk box, but I wouldn't say that I play the talk box. I started as a classical piano player, an accordion and cello and guitar, and weirdly musical saw was probably my third or fourth instrument, and I tend to play the musical saw a lot. Theremin I encountered because I play the musical saw. I was on a studio gig in my 20s in New York, and I had the saw and someone had a theremin there, and they're very similar in that you have to kind of guess at first. It's trial and error to figure out how far away you are from the correct pitch. I have lots of videos on musical saw, so if you want to know that, check out those videos. Oh yes, oh my God, that is such a funny hum. I always break out my theremin when non-musicians are in my studio and make them play it until it makes them nervous, which is nearly instantaneous. Absolutely. It's funny too because a lot of non-musicians feel a little bit happy and excited that they can actually make a note. It's sort of the difference like when a non-musician goes to the piano and they can make a note because you just have to push it down. Whereas if you hand somebody a guitar who's never played it, it never, you know, it's very hard to get a good sound out of a guitar and if you're new to it. And the theremin, if you're here from the sports fall video, so the people who were in the game at halftime, everybody ran into my studio and was like, let's all play the theremin. So they were actually, well, they were a little bit nervous because they couldn't actually make a real song. You know, they couldn't play specific notes, but that's normal. It's hard. You say you play the musical drill. I assume you're joking, but I have definitely played a drill in a recording studio on songs. Anyway, the non-musicians were very pleased and had a really good time with the theremin. However, they kept messing it up because they kept touching it, so then I'd have to recalibrate it all the time. So this side is the volume, and if you're not near it, it's just a standard normal volume. But watch my hand as I get closer to the volume side. You can make it quiet by doing that. Oh, cool. That's awesome, Aaron. I'm so used to people making jokes about my jobs on here that I just sort of go with it now. What do you play it in? Like, is it regular? Yeah, this is a Moog. It's the Theremin, and I just got it. I had a Clairvox for a hot minute, but it wasn't mine. I borrowed someone's Clairvox for a while. I had another Theremin that was also a Moog in the early 2000s for a while, but it was a different size, and this is just completely different. Electronics have come quite a long way, so it's really fun. So I'm sort of relearning this, but I was doing some production arrangement for a film and decided that I had a saw part I was putting down, and then I realized that I wanted something a little bit more controlled than the saw, and I'm quite a good musical saw player, but I wanted it to sound a little bit more electronic, so I was running my saw through an amp and messing with it on Logic, which was super fun for me, but I kept saying how I wish I had a theremin, and so my family all decided that it was time. Industrial type sound. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's funny. The theremin's one of those instruments. It's really similar to the function of organs, I think, in a lot of music, and that you don't necessarily notice that it's there. But if you took it away, you would be like, hey, this song sounds empty now. So it's kind of fun. Oh, is it backwards? Oh yeah, because I'm on my phone, because I don't know. I have all this gear and setup, but I never, I honestly, my whole thing about being online is just being authentic, and I can't just deal with like, I'm doing a live at this and putting on my costume. So as you can see, I'm not even dressed. I'm in my nightcap and my house coat and playing my music, because my whole family went to get haircuts and I'm never alone in my house. I have 2 kids, so I was pretty excited to play some music, and then I was like, oh, everybody on the internet thinks that I'm in a sports ball video playing the ironing board, so perhaps they might be interested in what's happening. All right, I'm gonna play a little bit and then I'm gonna jump off. So if you have any, I hate when it does this. If you have questions, let me know. All right, I'm gonna put on some Led Zeppelin now. Oh, I love this song. There we go. Oh, I gotta change the scale. Sorry, it's gotta recalibrate. That's not gonna work for me. You know why that's not gonna work is because Led Zeppelin has they're not tuned to A440, and this is tuned to A440. So that happened a lot in the 70s. One instrument, guitars didn't necessarily tune their instruments exactly to A440 for a variety of reasons. Also, when you sped up or slowed down takes of songs, it actually changed the pitch. So if you have a fretless instrument, I could play along perfectly. But this one is not. I guess if I really, well, there's some settings I could do. Anyway, it's Led Zeppelin's out of tune. I can't handle that. Okay, I'm gonna jump off. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed the Theremin time. I'll make some how-to videos eventually, but I'm gonna go write. I'm writing a book, and I'm on a deadline, which is clearly why I jumped on here to put Theremin for the internet. Bye-bye.